If your cat shows these signs, you're not their favorite. I know, that sentence alone can sting a little. But the truth is, cats are subtle creatures. They don't always show affection the way we expect. And sometimes, the signals that reveal how they really feel about you are hiding in plain sight. As someone who's lived with cats for years, studied their body language, and learned how they bond with humans, I can tell you, when a cat doesn't see you as their person, their entire behavior changes. The smallest gestures, from where they choose to sleep to how they react when you enter the room, can expose everything. In this video, we're going to uncover 8 surprising signs that reveal you might not be your cat's favorite human, and more importantly, what you can do to change that. Some of these signs are so subtle that most owners overlook them completely. But once you understand them, you'll see your cat's behavior in a totally different way. Before we start, if you truly love your cat and want to understand their world better, make sure to subscribe and leave a like on this video. It helps us reach more cat owners who want to build a stronger, happier bond with their pets. Now, let's talk about why this topic matters more than most people think. Cats don't simply decide to love someone. They build trust through emotional safety, consistent behavior, and subtle communication. And the scary part is, you might be sending the wrong message without realizing it. The worst is most people never notice these signs until it's too late, when their cat already feels distant or uninterested. So stay until the end, because the last few signs are the ones that truly reveal where your relationship stands.
When we think of our cats, it's easy to assume that love means cuddles, purring, or curling up beside us at night. But cats have their own quiet language. They communicate through patterns, reactions, and choices. And sometimes the very behaviors we think show affection can actually mean the opposite. What's even more surprising is that these signals aren't random. They're deeply connected to how secure, respected, and comfortable your cat feels with you. The truth is, cats remember emotional experiences with incredible precision. Every interaction leaves an impression, good or bad, and when those little moments add up the wrong way, your cat may slowly start to distance themselves without you even noticing. The worst part? Most people assume their cat is just independent or not affectionate, when in reality, their bond is quietly fading. So let's uncover the 8 subtle but powerful signs that you're not your cat's favorite human. And if any of these sound familiar, don't worry. You can turn things around once you know what they mean. The first sign that you're not your cat's favorite person is when they quietly avoid your touch. You reach out to pet them, but they pull away just before your hand lands. It's not dramatic, they don't hiss or run, they just move aside, as if saying, "Not now." But that little gesture speaks volumes. Cats only allow physical contact with the people they feel emotionally safe around. Studies on feline bonding show that touch is one of the highest forms of trust in cat behavior. When a cat doesn't lean into your hand or never seeks your lap, it's not about being aloof, it's about emotional distance. They're choosing to protect themselves from a bond that doesn't feel completely safe yet. This affects more than just affection. It changes the chemistry of your relationship. When a cat enjoys being touched, their body releases oxytocin, the same hormone that deepens the bond between mothers and kittens. But when that touch feels forced or uncomfortable, the opposite happens. They tense up, and their trust retreats. To rebuild that connection, don't chase it. Let your cat come to you. Spend quiet time nearby without reaching out. Let them make the first move, even if it takes days. Because for a cat, respect is love, and when they realize you're not trying to control their space, that's when they'll start to trust you again.
The second sign that you're not your cat's favorite person is when they never choose to sleep close to you. Where a cat rests tells you everything about how they feel toward the people in their home. Cats only sleep near those they trust, because during sleep, they are at their most vulnerable. If your cat always curls up in another room, on a different couch, or far from where you spend time, it's not just coincidence, it's a quiet decision. In their mind, you're part of the environment, but not part of their circle of safety. Cats form what behaviorists call trust zones, and only their favorite humans get invited into that space. This distance often forms slowly. Maybe there's too much noise when you move around, or you've startled them a few times without meaning to. Over time, they simply learn that being near you doesn't feel restful, and so they choose distance instead. To change this, create a peaceful routine. Keep your voice calm at night, move gently, and offer soft blankets near your own resting area. Never pick them up while they're sleeping. Let them come to you when they feel ready. One day, you'll notice they've chosen your side of the bed instead of the chair across the room. That's when you'll know you're becoming their safe place again.
The third sign that your cat doesn't see you as their favorite human is when they rarely make eye contact with you. Or worse, when they look away the moment your eyes meet. To us, it might seem like nothing, but for cats, eye contact is a silent conversation. When a cat truly trusts you, they hold your gaze in short, soft bursts, often followed by a slow blink. That slow blink is their version of saying, "I feel safe with you." But when your cat avoids your eyes, it's a signal of uncertainty. They might be reading you as unpredictable, tense, or emotionally distant. Cats pick up on energy faster than we realize. They notice tone, posture, even breathing. Scientists studying feline communication found that cats mimic their owners' emotional states. A calm, open gaze encourages connection. A sharp or staring look feels like a threat. If your cat looks away often, it could mean they haven't learned to read safety in your eyes yet. To rebuild that silent trust, don't stare, invite. Try soft eye contact paired with a slow blink, then look away first. You're telling your cat, "I see you, and you're safe." Do this daily. Over time, you'll notice them returning that blink, and that's the moment your bond begins to deepen again. The fourth sign that you're not your cat's favorite person is when they ignore you completely when you call their name. You speak, they hear it, but there's no reaction. No tail movement, no ear twitch, no glance in your direction. It's not that they didn't notice, it's that they didn't care to respond. Cats are fully capable of recognizing their names. Studies from Japanese universities have shown that cats can distinguish their own names from other words even when spoken by strangers. The difference lies in whether they feel emotionally attached to the person saying it. When your cat responds to someone else's voice but not yours, that's a quiet sign that they haven't built a strong emotional association with you yet. For them, the sound of your voice is just background noise. It doesn't trigger curiosity, safety, or affection. This isn't punishment, it's emotional neutrality. You can start changing this by rebuilding their emotional response to your tone. Use their name only in calm, positive moments, feeding, play, or gentle interaction. Avoid calling them during stressful situations like bath time or vet visits. Over time, their brain will link your voice to good things, and one day, they'll lift their head when you say their name, not out of habit, but out of genuine connection. That's when you'll know your cat has started to recognize not just your voice, but your importance. The fifth sign that you're not your cat's favorite person is when they start grooming themselves immediately after you touch them. You give them a gentle pet, and the moment your hand moves away, they begin licking the exact spot where you just made contact. It might look cute, but it's not affection, it's correction. In feline behavior, this action isn't about cleaning. It's a subtle way of restoring their personal scent. Cats have scent glands all over their bodies, and when they groom after being touched, they're erasing your scent because it feels unfamiliar or uncomfortable. It's their quiet way of saying, "You're not part of my inner circle yet." This behavior often shows up when there's a lack of emotional comfort. Maybe the touch felt too firm, or your scent reminded them of something stressful. Sometimes it's simply that your cat hasn't linked your smell to security yet. Cats are scent-driven animals. They remember you far more by how you smell than by how you look. To rebuild trust, don't chase the need to pet them constantly.
Instead, let your scent exist naturally in their space. Leave a piece of worn clothing near their favorite resting spot, or sit quietly while they explore your presence. When your cat grooms before you touch them instead of after, that's a sign the barrier is beginning to fall, and they're learning to accept you as part of their world.
The sixth sign that you're not your cat's favorite person is when their tail starts flicking or swishing the moment you approach. It's one of the easiest signals to overlook, yet it reveals so much about how your cat truly feels. When a cat's tail moves slowly side to side, it isn't curiosity, it's irritation. It's their way of saying, "I'm aware of you, but I'm not comfortable right now." If the tip of the tail twitches sharply or the tail lashes faster when you get closer, that's an even clearer sign of unease. This reaction usually means your cat hasn't learned to predict your behavior yet. Maybe your movements are too sudden, your tone too loud, or your presence feels unpredictable to them. Cats crave emotional consistency. They need to know exactly how you'll act when they're near. Without that predictability, they can't relax. You can change this with quiet repetition. Move calmly, avoid leaning over them, and let them approach on their terms. Speak softly, with a lower tone. Over time, their tail will stop flicking when you walk into the room, and you'll see it rest loosely instead, signaling calm trust. That's the moment your cat finally begins to associate your presence with peace, not tension.
The seventh sign that you're not your cat's favorite person is when they never bring you their little gifts. Whether it's a toy, a piece of string, or if you have an outdoor cat, a small prey, these offerings are far more than random behavior. They're emotional gestures. When cats bring something to their favorite human, it's not about the object itself. It's about inclusion. In feline social structure, sharing prey or possessions is a way of saying, "You're part of my group." It means they trust you enough to involve you in their instinctive world. So if your cat never brings you anything, not even a toy dropped near your feet, it may mean you're still outside that inner circle. This doesn't mean your cat dislikes you. It simply means they haven't yet formed a strong enough emotional bond to include you in their rituals. They might share with another family member instead, the one who spends more quiet time with them or responds consistently to their cues. To shift this, engage in play that mirrors their natural instincts. Use feather toys, chase games, or small balls that mimic prey movement. When you join their hunt, your cat begins to see you as a partner, not just a presence. In one day, when they drop a toy at your feet and look up at you with calm eyes, that's not random. It's their version of saying, "You belong to me too."
The eighth and most revealing sign that you're not your cat's favorite person is when they never come to you for comfort. When a loud noise startles them, when a stranger walks in, or when something new enters their space, they run, but not to you. They hide under a bed, behind furniture, or near someone else, and that moment speaks louder than anything else. In feline psychology, seeking comfort is the ultimate sign of trust. It means your cat believes you are their safe place when the world feels uncertain. So when they don't turn to you, it's not rejection. It's a reflection of where your bond stands. They're saying, "I can handle this alone." But what they're really expressing is, "I don't know if you'll make me feel safe." This happens when a cat's emotional memory associates your presence with unpredictability or distance. Maybe you often approach when they're tense, or comfort them in a way that feels too intrusive. Cats remember those small moments, and once their trust cracks, they protect it fiercely. The way back is through calm reassurance, not control. When they're scared, sit nearby, but don't touch. Let your stillness do the talking. Over time, they'll begin to approach you again, not because you forced comfort, but because they rediscovered safety in your presence. That's when you'll know you've become their favorite human, not because you demanded their trust, but because you earned it. Every gesture, every moment of silence, and every small reaction your cat shows is a reflection of how safe they feel with you. These 8 signs aren't about judgment, they're a mirror of trust. The beautiful part is that cats never hold grudges. They remember how you make them feel. And from the moment you start respecting their pace, listening to their signals, and giving them consistency, everything changes. You stop being just the person who feeds them and become the person they choose. But there's something most cat owners never realize. Once a cat finally trusts you, they begin to break certain rules. Behaviors that once meant defiance or independence suddenly turn into quiet acts of love. They start ignoring boundaries, showing affection in ways that go against everything you thought you knew about feline behavior. In the next video, you'll discover those secret moments, the ones that reveal when a cat loves you so deeply that they stop following their own instincts. It's unexpected, emotional, and will completely change how you read your cat's heart. So, click the video that just appeared on your screen and find out what your cat does when love takes over reason.